Rich, victory down here today. Just your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, look, fantastic performance from the boys, and it's nice to get one of them results where we've sort of pulled away from a team. All the games have been pretty close, or we've been on the other end of that. So, look, yeah, really happy for the group in there because they have been working hard in training to get things right, especially defensively, and I thought we got it right today. I thought they threw a lot at us. We dealt with it. And when we didn't, we got it wrong. We scrambled well and mopped up any sort of errors in D.
You mentioned there about it was nice to have a game where we pulled away rather than being close like we've had recently. It really was emphatic today, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, some individuals came up with some fantastic plays. Gebby I thought was outstanding today in his performance and his ability to beat people and and score and create opportunities for others. We because we had the energy to do it. Previous weeks we've had a very low completion rate. We haven't had the energy to do it. Our middles couldn't do what they need to do, but today we sort of got that right.
You mentioned Gebby there. Obviously, he scores the first try, but so much of what he did today led to more points. It was fantastic, wasn't it?
Look, he carried hard out of yardage. He was a doubt before the kickoff as well. He came with a bit of a knee issue, and he was doubtful. We was going to see after warm up. He got through warm up, and he said, "I'm okay." Thank God for that, because he came up with, like I said, a really solid performance and a one we can hopefully see a lot more of.
A word on Connor. 7 successful kicks today. Obviously, throughout the season, I think it's fair to say he's not been as successful, but brilliant today.
Yeah, look, again, it was one of them, the performance by the whole team and individually within that. They all did their job, they all played their part, and that's when we're a hard team to beat, when we are as a group and everybody does their job and their roles within the squad.
We mentioned before today, only one victory against a team above us. Today we come to seeing that we're top of the league coming into this weekend, and a stroll, really.
Look, it was a grueling game. That first half into these conditions, really hot, and both teams completed really well in the first half, and we managed to shade it going in at 8-6. What a great start to the second half! But after that, we sort of recovered, got to back knocking our sets out and putting them under pressure. We forced a couple of errors, which helped us gain that field position to help post some points on the board.
The tries we scored all came off good plays, but our defensive work today that kind of really set us up, didn't it?
Yeah, it's something we'd worked on all week and spoke about. We had a real long review at after last week against Oldham, because I thought the tries they scored were pretty soft, and we got a better understanding of what we're asking of them and what's needed from them. And you could see that out there, that everyone bought into it, and hopefully we maintain that moving on to London.
Pre-match, we obviously mentioned the visit here last year and being one of the more difficult afternoons of the season. Today we kind of did to them what they did to us last year.
Yeah, look, and it's one of them. It was one of them games where could have gone either way, but you look at the scoreboard and we'd sort of got 2 scores behind us and pulled away a little bit, and they'd have been like kicking themselves a little bit. But the performance was there that we needed this week, for us to move on as a group and as a team and start climbing up the ladder a little bit.
We mentioned how in the past how errors have kind of cost us in tight games, but today the reason we were able to pull away because we got just about everything right, weren't we?
We're usually our own worst enemy. When we get it right, knocking out the sets, putting them under pressure, we usually score points. 9 times out of 10 we're up there scoring some points because we've got some strike players that can do it.
That final try, it's obviously, like I say, a grueling game. 78th minute, Gebby runs half the pitch, Watson runs the full length of the pitch. It's great determination, isn't it?
Look, yeah, they're a fit group as well. Everyone always says about us being big, but we're fit as well. We've usually finished games, even when we've been behind, fairly strong. Is it teams dropping off in their intensity? I don't know, but like for us, we see that, and it's a positive. We just need to get it right early in the games when we're not completing our sets and giving ourselves a chance for the energy battle.
We've mentioned it before about how when we're at our best, we can match the best in this division. We've shown that today, haven't we?
Yeah, look, they're a quality team, and they're sat high in the top 3. They're there for a reason because of the quality they've got, the spine that they've got within the team are a real big threat, and we dealt with them well today.
We mentioned before going into this how we wanted to go into that 2-week break on a high. We've done that.
Yeah, look, we've got a bit of time off now to recharge the batteries a little bit, as they say, get a few things right on the training field, and look forward to London.
We've obviously mentioned the fans before on these away trips. Saw the core group of them out there today behind behind the post. They were great today as well, weren't they?
They've been fantastic, considering how frustrating we've been. You know, it's been a bit of a roller coaster this start of the season, and hopefully we can get the performances right and kick on a little bit and give them a little bit more to cheer about.